Sambala muna toso, enam bulan ngaongong. Nitorian, nang bukalo, mesangut hati kongan. Nasala sawa-sawa nitorian, nang bukalo, emesingan. Yutakian, emesingan. Salatu, limbulabo, kesemae, muriatu, ridarian nanggukalo.
We are Rocco and Debbie Pierce, your missionaries to the Pacific Islands. Most of you are aware of our plans to start a preacher training school in the Fiji Islands. We have partnered with Bear Valley Bible Institute International to form a Bible Institute at Rewonga, Fiji. Visa applications, government recognition, and health concerns have delayed our initial start of the school in February of 2016. As many of you know, my wife, Debbie, had surgery and radiation treatment for colon cancer. She is doing very well, and the doctors released her in September of this year to travel to Fiji. On September 17th, 2016, we landed in the Fiji Islands after a 7,210-mile journey from Hole in Wall, Tennessee. While this is not our first trip to Fiji, it still had a different feel to it. We were landing as legal residents of the Fiji Islands. Lord willing, this will be our new home for the next 5 to 10 years. We are here to establish the Bible Institute at Rewonga for the purpose of training preachers, church leaders, and Bible teachers. One of our priorities was finding a place to live. The manager of the hotel we usually stay in while working in Fiji lined us up with a contact that had the perfect apartment. It is only a 15 to 20 minute drive from the church building in a very secure neighborhood. Also, we are paying about half the rent we paid while living in American Samoa, and our power bill is only a third of what it was there. We have a memorandum of understanding with the Rewonga Church of Christ to use their building for the school for the next 3 years. We are thankful for the support of these good brethren. We could not do the school without their support. While my wife was waiting to be released to travel, my son Jason and his son Austin flew to Fiji ahead of us to open the school. On September 5th, 2016, the very first class of the Bible Institute at Rewonga began with 8 students who were eager to learn. Jason taught the New Testament book of Hebrews. From September 5th to November 18th, we had 5 instructors who offered 7 different classes to 14 students. Our first term teachers were Jason, Rocco, Larry, Tony, and Lance. The classes that each taught were very important and very well received. Jason taught More Than a Shadow, a study of Hebrews, and planned preaching. I taught the Christian Home and the Sermon on the Mount. Larry Murdoch was able to use his expertise in singing to teach reading shape notes and song leading. Tony Duncan taught wisdom literature, Proverbs through the Song of Solomon. And Lance Mosier taught a class on the New Testament church. Our 2 short course teachers for this school term were Lance Mosier and Tony Duncan. They traveled great distances to teach in our program. Lance, missionary to Pororua, New Zealand, and a director of the Bear Valley Bible Institute of New Zealand, came to help us with a class on the New Testament church. Tony Duncan and Larry Murdoch flew from Tennessee to also help us with our program. Debbie has been very involved. Not only has she set up housekeeping, she has had the ladies over to the house for a devotional. She has also helped to supervise the speaking assignments of the ladies who are taking part in our classes. Jason is in the process of fundraising, so after teaching his class, he flew back to Tennessee. However, he still had one more class he needed to teach. Thanks to the marvels of modern technology, he was able to teach his course on planned preaching via the internet. It was very well done and well received by the students. Since we missed our February 15th, 2016 target date, we decided to do a sampling of the 2-year program. The summers are opposite to what they are in Tennessee. Our long school break in the U.S. falls from June to August. theirs from November to January. To start the first term at the end of their school year just didn't make sense to us. So we decided to pick a scattering of the courses from the program as a way of introducing to the Fiji brethren what we had to offer. Those students who received a B or higher would not have to repeat those classes when they were offered again over the next 2 years. That will give them an extra study period to work on some of their other courses. Our students have a thirst for knowledge. Let me offer the following 2 examples. Sammy is named after one of the leaders of the Nala Church of Christ. I have been told by his elder namesake that since Sammy has been attending classes, he has really stepped up and is now taking a leading role in preaching and working with the youth. Sammy is about a 2-hour bus ride from the church building. Mavono comes from the remote village of Deladamanu. The elders of the congregation are sending Mavono to the Bible Institute at Rewanga. They are exempting him from his village responsibilities to go to the school. They are taking care of his farm in his absence so that his family has food to eat. He has about a 3-hour bus ride one way to get to school. He is usually one of the first students to arrive. We have some quality students. This term, our students were responsible for 10 baptisms and 10 restorations. We had a surprise visit this term from Jesse and Nadia LeMay, who are recent graduates from the Bear Valley Bible Institute in Denver. They ate lunch with us, and Jesse spoke for our chapel service. Jesse also left a generous gift to purchase Strong's Concordances and Vine's expository dictionaries for each of our students. To Jesse and Nadia, the best way to pay back the generosity they had received while in school themselves was to share some of what they had with other students. One of the continuing jobs of being director is recruiting students. We want to serve all of the congregations in Fiji. The majority of the population of Fiji is on 2 islands. There are congregations on both of those islands. Debbie and I flew to the northern island of Vanuatu to encourage some of the brethren there to attend the courses being offered. We spoke with the brethren at Butha and Vatandamu. Joeli and his wife Lydia from Butha were free to come to Suva to sit for the last class that we were offering this term. They were able to stay with family living a couple of blocks from the church building. They were very impressed with the program and both planned to enroll as full-time students in February of 2017. In addition to working in the school, I've had the opportunity to visit 8 of the 19 congregations of the Churches of Christ in Fiji in the past 3 months. I was able to speak for 6 of those congregations. We are currently in the U.S. Debbie is here for her 3-month checkup following radiation treatment, and I am working on fundraising and preparing for the coming academic year. I am scheduled to teach 8 classes next year, and I need to have a good bit of the material put together before classes start on February 21st, 2017. It is difficult to put together material while the school is in session. The classes that I'll be teaching are Preparation and Delivery of Sermons, the Pentateuch, Denominational Doctrines, Hermeneutics, Romans, the Scheme of Redemption, Prison Epistles of Paul, and the Christian Home. Our schedule is already set for next year. Our first term will start February 20th and go through April 14th. Our second term will be from May 22nd to July 14th, and our third term from August 21st to October 13th. If you look closely at the schedule on your screen, you'll find that we not only have the long terms, we also have student campaigns for each of those terms, and we have short courses for each of those terms, and then we have student breaks following the short courses. We want to thank you from the bottom of our hearts for your kindness and steadfast support of our work. I can already see the fruits of our labor together in Fiji in this effort to establish a school in Suva. May God richly reward you for your generosity. Thank you.
Sambala muna toso